If you thought Nano Banana couldn't get any better, then the Pro version is absolutely going to blow your mind. It is way better looking for print on demand. It is way more accurate when it comes to text and laying out complex designs, and it even generates graphics at 2000 by 2000 pixels. In this video, I'll show you some tips and tricks, do some different tests with this new model, and we'll do comparison for the new Pro version to the old Nano Banana to show you just how much better this model really is. First of all, let's talk about how to use the new Pro model for Nano Banana. You can do that on Gemini, and I'll leave a link to this site down below. You just have to select the thinking model down here, and then if you click create image, it is going to use the new Nano Banana Pro by default. Now, this does have a rate limit and it doesn't let you go forever on the free plan. However, you can also come to LM Arena, which I'll also leave a link to down below, and change the mode right here to direct chat. And then if you click on generate images, it's going to choose the new Gemini 3 Nano Banana Pro model automatically. So this is another place where you can generate the images for free. And in case you're wondering about commercial use, I found this help article right here where someone asked, do I have the full commercial rights to sell images generated with Gemini Nano Banana? And someone from Google support answered, yes, commercial use of Gemini generated images, including use in business projects, is generally allowed with a royalty-free license. Now to start out with, let's try a super simple prompt just to see how the new Pro model does with that. So let's do a kawaii vector art illustration of a panda on a skateboard isolated on a solid white background. Very straightforward, not really any style guidance or anything about the colors. So let's see how this turns out. And I do think that is a pretty good result right here. Considering we didn't give much guidance, this looks absolutely amazing. I could definitely see this working on a t-shirt design or as a sticker or a coffee mug perhaps. By the way, you can also tell it to use a specific aspect ratio. So for example, we can say change this to 4 by 5, which is quite close to the Amazon merch dimensions. And there we go, it's actually generated a new version of our design, probably because I didn't attach this as a reference. So let's try that out right here. We'll use that as an image reference and say, once again, change this to 4 by 5 aspect ratio. And there we go, now it's actually done the job and this looks really good. Now the good thing about Nano Banana and the Pro version especially is that you can make very precise edits and additions to your graphics without really affecting anything else. For example, let's say you just wanted to amend the skateboard right here and the pattern that's on it. We could say change the skateboard design to a camouflage pattern. And then if we hit enter, there we go, it's done exactly that. The graphic looks the same, the expression and the surrounding elements right here, 100% the same, just the skateboard pattern has been changed to camouflage. Even the wheels are still pink right here. So Nano Banana Pro, definitely extremely accurate when it comes to making changes. But how does it do if we ask it to add a funny phrase right here? Is it enough to say, add a funny phrase or pun to this? That could work for a t-shirt. Now I'm not giving it much direction in terms of the style or the layout, and I did also say t-shirt here, so maybe it's going to generate a mock-up. We don't know. I'm just testing how well this does with extremely simple conversational prompts, and also how it does with actually generating a pun, which many AI really do struggle with. We've got barely skating by right here, which isn't bad. It's not the best pun in the world perhaps, but I do like it, and I think it's done a pretty good job of matching this to the graphic in terms of the colors and the stroke outline right here matching kind of the stroke of the panda. This looks pretty good, and considering how simple the prompt was, it's actually done an amazing job. And the best thing is now, if I click on download full size right here, it is going to give me an image that is 1800 by 2300 pixels. And if we open this up, it looks really good. It has extremely crisp edges for an AI generated image. You still might want to upscale this by 2x or run this through a vectorizer to be sure that it looks good on a shirt. But for anything smaller like coffee mugs, notebooks, small poster sizes, this is probably good enough. And it's amazing to see that Nano Banana has really improved its quality, because the previous model did output very low resolution images that was sometimes a struggle to vectorize or upscale properly. Another thing I'm going to test is a very complex design that once again AI usually struggles with, and that is an anatomy design, and this for an elephant right here with 8 different arrows pointing to and describing its different body parts. This is something that so far no AI has even come close to doing a good job of. Usually the descriptions make no sense, there's misspellings in them, and the arrows are certainly not pointing in the right direction. So let's see how this does. To be honest, I don't have the highest hopes. I think this is still going to take a while for AI to be able to perfect, but Nano Banana Pro might be the closest to it, to be honest. So let's see. We've got large ears, that's almost pointing at the ear. Flexible trunk, that seems correct. Ivory tusks, okay. Powerful heart, so it's actually showing us the inside of the elephant here. We've got large lungs, yeah, that all seems correct. Cushion feet, multi-chambered stomach, big brain. All of these are right. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 arrows. Even though I asked for 8, it managed to add 2 arrows for the feet. This is really, really good. And again, I didn't even tell it what to add. It just figured that out on its own. Now, for print on demand, you usually see these with some kind of jokes and puns right here, so I'm not sure how good it would do at that. But just seeing how well it did it, kind of pointing in the right direction right here and not mixing up any of these words or misspelling anything, that is so impressive. And this was super fast. You saw it was like 20 seconds, maybe 30 max to get this image. So super impressive. I cannot believe this. So let's see what it does with this. Turn this into a funny design instead for a t-shirt for animal lovers, and change the text to jokes about the elephant's anatomy and add anatomy of an elephant above in bold letters. So let's try if this works, and if it does, I don't know what to say anymore. Like I really hope this doesn't work, because it would be, yeah, I'd just go straight to bed. I'd stop recording and just go straight to bed. And there we have it, anatomy of an elephant. The heading is right. We've got satellite dishes for gossip, okay, that is the big ears, I guess. And we've got snack vacuum and snot rocket, okay, that's pretty good. Toothbrushes for giants, don't think that's necessarily funny. We've got the love pump for peanuts, don't get that either, maybe that's just me. Trumpet, bellows, bubble wrap shoes, bottomless for the stomach, that's pretty good to be honest. Mastermind remembers everything, okay, not bad to be honest. I don't think it's the best in the world. It could definitely be funnier, but it's changed everything. It still kind of matches what it's pointing at, and some of these I think are good. I think some of these are funny, so I'm not going to go straight to bed. I want to carry on testing, but yeah, this is mind-boggling really how good this is. And I think with some more direction and some actual like references and jokes, you could create some fantastic graphics right here with some fairly simple prompts, and the style looks very spot on as well. It's clean, it's easy to read, the graphic looks great, and the layout is pretty decent as well. Let's try asking it to create a funny t-shirt for a dad who loves boating. So again, being fairly generic, we could say we want a 3:4 aspect ratio, and we want it to be let's actually not say about isolated on a background, just let it go, see if it knows to kind of keep things very clear so we can easily remove the background. Maybe it already knows that. And then I'm also going to test, and once this is done, if we can put it on a transparent background, just to see if Nano Banana Pro can do that similarly to ChatGPT. But we have a mock-up right now, so me not giving a direction on the background color did turn this into a mock-up. But what does it say? I'm the captain until my wife says otherwise. That is actually not a bad joke. I don't love the graphic, like, don't get me wrong. This is not the greatest graphic. It's very, very like overloaded, and some of the details don't look the best, I would say. So I would simplify this a lot. But in terms of the layout, like captain being the huge word, then the kind of joke with the wife in small letters underneath for the punchline, that is actually really, really good. And it's a decent idea for an AI to come up with, based on such a simple prompt right here. It's just that I should have given it more direction, and if there wasn't this mock-up that made the design so small, it would have probably been better. Let's try this again, or let's just tell it to put this on solid black, no mock-up, and see if that helps with kind of the clarity right here in the objects. And now it's just changed the mock-up to a black shirt now. So yeah, it's not getting me, but nevertheless, I think the task was to create a funny design for dads who like boating, and that it has definitely done a good job of. I would just make the graphic more simple, but the phrase and the text layout, all of that is fantastic. So now I'm going to try putting this design on a transparent background. I started off with this prompt where it says on a white background, and I forgot the aspect ratio, and again, it put this on this very, very wide format. So be careful with that. Do put the aspect ratio of 1:1, 5:4, or 3:2 perhaps, just to get more of a t-shirt design format. And you can instantly see that this is a fake transparent background. If we open this up, you see a lot of mistakes right here in the middle in terms of this pattern. So this is not transparent. It's just made to look like it is a transparent background. Unfortunately, I can prove that if we download this at full size right here. So that's unfortunate. It still can't do that, and ChatGPT has been able to do that for a while. I know it's not perfect with removing backgrounds, but I would have expected Google to kind of catch up to that functionality. So yeah, I've downloaded the graphic now, and if we zoom in, you can very clearly see that this is in fact not a transparent background. But yeah, good job for trying to trick us. That wasn't quite good enough. Another thing I want to try is combining multiple images and making them one. So I'm attaching two designs right here, one of a frog and one of a capybara. I'm going to say merge these two designs to create one t-shirt graphic, 1:1 aspect ratio and solid white background. I'm going to select create images again, and then let's go. Oh my god, what the hell? So it actually, you can look through the thinking process right here. It said developing the hybrid concept. So it actually managed to not just, put these two side by side, it kind of merged the designs in a way that makes sense, where they're both drinking from the same boba tea right here, which the capybara, if you look at the input image, was drinking the boba. This frog wasn't. This frog has all of these kind of hippie accessories, and the capybara is now wearing that hippie headband, whereas the frog is just wearing the hippie t-shirt. This is fantastic, man. I cannot believe how smart this model is. Now I just want to keep trying to combine images to see what we can come up with. What if we said put these two on a surfboard together in front of a vintage sunset graphic, keep it isolated on white, just so it doesn't generate some strange scenery instead of the white background right here. If it does a decent job with this, I'd be very impressed once again. I'm going to download this. I do think this is a fantastic design, way better than what I was expecting. It also took the glasses from the frog and put those on the capybara. The capybara wasn't wearing any glasses before, so it did really mix their outfits there. And there we have it. They are sat on a surfboard, and they are in front of a vintage sunset that does also match the colors of the animals. I don't love how super close it is to the edge right there. It might be a bit tough to remove the background there, but yeah, not the end of the world. The task was done very effectively indeed. Let's try and change the style of this. So change the style to more of a retro illustration in a single color, like black, isolated on a white background. Let's see how it does with that. I do have something in mind for the style there. I didn't describe it that in depth, but perhaps Nano Banana Pro can figure it out. Let's see. Yeah, not a bad job. Not exactly 100% what I had in mind, but it is extremely close. I was thinking of the typical kind of raccoon graphic style, but to be honest, this looks amazing. It's interpreted my instructions right here super well, and I could also see this working. I mean, the vibrant version definitely fits the kind of hippie theme and the animals better, but yeah, the fact that you can quickly change the style like this is super impressive. What if we tried now give me a watercolor version of this design. And by the way, I am using the Pro version right here, so probably on the free plan you won't get as many generations and you'll hit the rate limit. Unfortunately, the rate limit did come in quite quickly for me after about 10 images, I would say. So I just got the Pro to make this video for you, but you can also use Ella Marina. And in the worst case scenario, I think the Pro version was only something like $10 a month if you wanted to keep going. And I think, once again, really good job. This watercolor version does look neat. The background is a little bit difficult to remove, I think, now because it's got different shades of white and gray in it. But yeah, definitely this style very easily changed with simple prompts right here, and these look absolutely amazing. I also want to test this new model for mock-ups, so I've created one quickly right here for our capybara and frog shirt. And this is a Bella 3001 in yellow, and I've attached it right here to Nano Banana. And now let's say change the shirt color to heather gray. I want to test how well it can change this color without affecting anything in the background or the graphic itself. Nano Banana, the old version, was already pretty good at this, to be honest, but obviously we want to check if this model is still as good or better. And here we have it. Let's actually download this, look at it up close, because some of the graphic right here does look a little bit changed. It's definitely done a good job of changing the color of the shirt, but if we look at this original attachment, maybe it has messed up our graphic a little bit. Anyway, let's carry on making changes to this anyway, and say put him into an autumn city scene just to kind of change the background right there. Meanwhile, our graphic has generated, and if we do zoom in, yes, the peace symbols have gotten lost on this bandana, so it's not kept the graphic 100% intact. Not sure if the old banana would have managed to keep these very small symbols intact, so that's something that I would have to compare before I judge this new model. But I think generally besides that, everything else looks kind of the same. This being the image before and this the image afterwards. So yeah, cannot see any real changes other than the very, very small details within the graphic right there. Everything else in the background, in the guy's face, his posture and his other clothing has stayed the same. Meanwhile, our autumn theme is generated, and that does look pretty neat, very realistic. I do like that. And another thing that I wanted to try is, what if we attach some other articles of clothing, such as this coat right here, and why not a blue beanie as well, to kind of match his jeans right there and get him dressed up for autumn. So add these items of clothing to the mock-up, and there we go. Now he is definitely wearing that coat and the beanie. Does it still look the same? Yep, the guy does still look the same. So that's pretty impressive. He's now wearing exactly what we gave him there in the attached images. It's even considered the fact that this hat is slightly brighter than the coat that I attached, and you can still see the red insides right here of this coat as well, which are clearly visible in this original attachment. So let's come to the final part of this video, where I want to compare the old Nano Banana results to the Pro results. And I have a bunch of different prompts right here prepared that we're going to go through. The first one being psychedelic, kind of hippie frog right here, and I think it's a clear winner. The right side, the Pro model, looks so much nicer. The whole posture, the shading, the highlights, and just the overall composition, way nicer. So definitely easy win right here for Nano Banana Pro. Next up, we've got a very, very long text prompt. So a ton of text in this design, very difficult to get that all correct. This is for someone who's 10 years old, and it's also counting down the months, the days, the hours, etc. So it's done the first few numbers correctly. That's very easy to see at a glance. But what about the very, very long ones right here? We've got 31557. 31557, same on the right hand side, and then 6000 I think is what it ends with. Yep, both of those have done that right. And we've got 5259,600, 5259,600. Yeah, actually both models spell everything correctly in terms of the numbers, no messed up order or whatever. But if we compare this structure, Pro did a better job of making it all kind of in line and evenly spaced, and it would look way better as a t-shirt design if you used the Pro version. It's a small detail, but it does make a difference. So I do think, once again, this round goes to Pro. Moving down to the next prompt, here we have a proud plant parent. These geese that are into plants, and the prompt kind of describes them doing different things. Now, how well did each of these do? I think the previous model doesn't look as nice aesthetically, like this white outline around the geese, and the text isn't too good. It looks a little bit more amateur. This looks very, very neat. I could definitely see this on Etsy. And if we look at the details as well, Nano Banana, the old version, it does mess up some of the details. So we've got the watering can that's pointing away from the plants and towards the goose. That doesn't make much sense. Plant care is spelled correctly on the book, which is good. Here on the right, we've got an additional wing that comes in that makes no sense. So there is some mistakes if you look up close, whereas this right here, the watering can is right. I can't see any additional arms either. And I do also like the facial expressions a bit more. Like, there's a bit more character in these. They're all kind of doing something else, having a separate facial expression. Whereas on the left, they're all just looking fairly neutral, and there's not a lot of variety. So I think, whilst at first glance these might not look too different, again, there is a clear winner, and it is definitely the Pro version. And if you want to get the prompts that I used for this comparison, I'll have a link to those down below as well. You can get them for free on my website, and then you can use them for Nano Banana or any AI model of your choice. Now, coming down to this next prompt, I wanted to really put it to a test and try one of these super detailed fishing designs. So these are different types of fish, and they're very, very accurately described in this prompt. I'm kind of going through the rows, and we've got right here at the top a brown gray buffalo fish labeled buffalo. Yep, Nano Banana, the old version, got that right. Then we've got the roach fish, and after that the bluegill. This says pike and then carp, so that's already completely wrong, whereas the Pro version did put roach fish and bluegill, so that's correct. I'm not a fishing expert. I don't know if all of these fish are matched with the right name, but if we keep looking through the actual prompt right here, it now says in the second row we've got pike, drum, and then white crappie. Roachfish, drum, white crappie, so almost right in that case. And here we have pike, drum, white crappie. That is correct. So it's followed that second line correctly as well. I'm not going to go through the entire prompt, but I think you can already see that the Pro version has gotten 6 out of 6 correct, and here there's a lot of mistakes just in the first couple of rows. So again, this round goes to Nano Banana Pro. Very, very obvious so far which model is better. Then we'll go through this a bit quicker. Simple prompt, floral style. I think both of these are nice, and it depends on your personal preference a little bit. I think the one on the right looks cleaner. There isn't as many flowers. It's a little bit easier to read because of that, and I also kind of prefer this sizing right here in terms of the different words. It's just a cleaner layout, a little bit easier to process in my opinion. So for me, this round also goes to Pro. Then we've got a cute kind of cartoonish graphic of a capybara with a boba tea, and whilst there are just subtle difference in terms of the kind of shading and highlights, I think overall Pro once again looks better. Definitely personal preference here. Maybe you prefer that this one is looking straight at the camera, but I slightly prefer the style of this kawaii graphic right there. Then let's come to the next graphic. This is the last prompt we're going to compare, and this is that kind of retro illustration style, and I think we once again have a clear winner. Nano Banana, the old version. I actually got these mixed up. It was this way around. My bad. So Nano Banana, the old version, if you've ever used it, you've probably noticed that it often puts the graphic quite small in the center and has a lot of white space right here, meaning that the quality is just even worse than it has to be, whereas the Pro version now seems to put things closer to the edge, and it provides the graphics in 2000 pixels, so it's like two birds with one stone really. It's sizing them correctly in terms of the graphic being to the edge, and it's giving you higher resolution on top of that. And I think generally the layout right here and the style just so much nicer. Nano Banana, in my opinion, was quite tough to get a good result with beforehand when it comes to using a prompt. They were always a little bit lackluster in some cases, but now I mean, these are the results from this same prompt, and this one on the right is miles better. Yeah, absolutely love it. I think we've got a very clear winner right here. The Pro version is miles better. I don't know what's going on with these check marks. Something's happened, but I think you get the gist. Pro's won every single one of these competitions right here. I'm super impressed. Let me know what you think in the comments. And once again, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, comment bananas underneath. I think it's very suitable for this video once again. I love seeing who comments down below, because many people skip and click off of the video after just a couple of minutes. I recently discovered another AI tool that's extremely good at generating t-shirt designs, and it can do that for free. Check out this video next if you want to learn what that tool is and how to use it effectively for print on demand.